What is up, everybody? It is Rust Belt Perspective here, back once again. Please scroll down, subscribe, join my Discord server if you're not already. Today is March 23rd, 2023, and today we're going to be talking about Michigan in the 2024 United States Senate cycle. And Michigan is going to, by far, be the most wide-open state of any state there is in 2024 on the Senate level, because there have only been 3 states so far that have had a incumbent declare they are not running. You have Mike Brown in Indiana, but he's retired to run for governor instead, and the state will definitely maintain its Republican seat here in Indiana. California, Dianne Feinstein, she's going to be, I think, 91 years old next year, so she is retiring, but a Democrat will certainly win here. But Michigan is where it is wide open. Michigan has been a competitive state recently. 4-term incumbent Senator Debbie Stabenow has announced she is retiring. So, being a swing state and a presidential election year, no incumbency power here, we are looking at easily the most wide open race, because Montana and Ohio have already had their popular Democratic incumbents declare their intention to rerun. If Joe Manchin does not rerun in West Virginia, that is almost certainly a Republican flip at that point. So yeah, no matter what happens, Michigan's looking to be the most wide open. And then and understandably, with the wide open race, there are a lot of potential candidates for both sides. On the Democrats, this whole screen here has a list of people. Granted, a lot of them are people on the bottom that have declined, but still. You have one U.S. representative that has declared. You have a popular actor and author in Hill Harper who has a pending announcement, it looks like. Then there's a few U.S. representative and a state representative, and the president of the Michigan Board of Education that have all publicly expressed interest. And you have some more U.S. representatives and other elected officials for the Democrats. It is a wide open pool for the Democrats. And the Republicans, they have a long list too. They have, yes, just like the Democrats, they have a list of people at the bottom who have declined, but there are a number of potential candidates here. There are already 2 candidates that have declared. You have a few U.S. representatives and a state senator who have all publicly expressed interest. Excuse me. But one issue for the Republicans in Michigan is, if you look back to 2022, they were a complete mess there in that governor's race there. They had their top 5 candidates, I believe, all be disqualified from running due to numerous factors against them, and it led to Gretchen Whitmer easily being able to be reelected despite Joe Biden's unpopularity in 2022. So the Republicans, if they want any shot at flipping the seat, which they absolutely can, they're going to have to get it together here in Michigan and put up a viable candidate here to challenge whoever the Democratic nominee may be. Now, John James here, he is a viable candidate that has declined. He has since been elected to the U.S. House, and he's going to stay with that. And the reason I say that is, you look back at 2020 on the Senate level, James here, he challenged incumbent Gary Peters, and it was a very close race. Just by 1.7 points did Peters hold on to that seat there. It was one of the most competitive Senate races of the cycle. I think it was equally competitive as North Carolina. Georgia's one of the Georgia elections was a little closer, and that's it. This was like tied for the second most competitive Senate race in 2020, and John James is a part of that. So that right there shows Michigan, with the right candidate, could be competitive. And with Joe Biden's popularity a factor this time, that could be enough to help push Republicans over the edge with the right candidate. You even look at 2018. Yes, Debbie Stabenow, at that time the 3-term incumbent, won by 6.5 points. But you got to remember, that was a blue wave year. And you look at other states in this region. Incumbent Bob Casey, he won by 13 points. Incumbent Tammy Baldwin, she won by almost 11 points. So is Stabenow's 6.5 point victory in 2018 really that impressive? It's an interesting question, but Now they don't have that power of incumbency anymore, and they're not looking to have a blue wave in 2024 either. So if the Republicans can put the right candidate up, which there are a lot of people to choose from, this race becomes very interesting. And you look at the federal level, because presidential elections also absolutely matter here, because the Senate is a national implication race. Biden won the state in 2.8, flipping it back, but 2.8 isn't a dominant margin by any means. It still was very competitive. 2016 was when Trump narrowly cracked the state by 0.2 points. So each party has had success here on the federal level recently. But before that, it has very much been a Democratic state. It had not gone Republican since 1988. It's been a part of the blue wall for the Democrats for quite some time. But again, this is the most wide open race of 2024, and since there's really no front runner for either party at the moment, there are not any 2024 polls yet for this race in 2024 for Michigan. But an interesting thing is, you look back at the 2020 polls in Michigan, Gary Peters was crushing John James in all of these. At his worst, he was winning by 5 points. At his best, he was crushing it by 15 points in the final poll before the election, and he only won by less than 2 points. So it kind of goes to show that the Democrats are overestimated in these polls to an extent. I mean, you even look at that same ballot, the presidential election. Presidential general election 2020. Biden was supposed to be beating Trump here by 6, 7, 10 points. It was even more like in late October, like you're looking double digits here. And that didn't come to fruition. Biden didn't even win the state by 3 points. So this is going to coincide with the presidential election, which is another thing that makes this very interesting in 2024 for this race. So, with that, this also is a very important seat, too, because this was my map I predicted a few weeks back. But the Democrats, if they're able to hold on to Arizona and Ohio, Michigan could be a tipping point. I know I've kind of said that same thing about Arizona, Ohio, and Montana, but it's true for all these states, and Michigan is a part of that. If the Republicans are able to flip just Michigan, assuming they also do get West Virginia, that would be enough for them. Though that also shows that it's an important seat for the Democrats to hold on to. And in 2018, the Republicans had to worry about flipping North Dakota, Missouri, Indiana, and Florida. That is not a worry for them anymore, so Michigan is way higher up on their list of states to attack than it was back in 2018. So, again, the Democrats do have the upper hand here. They have won most elections, but the Republicans have proven to be competitive here recently. So, what do you guys think? Can the Republicans win it here? Let me know. Comment down below. Will the Democrats hold on to this seat? It's interesting, and it's one that has a lot of implications for the next 6 years. So, yeah, this is Rose Belt Perspective, signing out.